So how do we create this effect now that we've just seen, where you can use the scrollable area and actually influence content that is on the outer area of the page? So for that, I've created a small layout here. There's my chair, and I have some box already created here where I'm going to show my content. So next step, I'm going to open my App Studio palette. And what I want to do here is I want to make this box a scroll box. This scroll box I'm going to call my long article. And I want to enable that for vertical scrolling, so somebody can scroll this up and down. And make this a large article, so 3,400 pixels. And let's create that article. What you can see is up here, we created a new layout called long article. I'm going to split my screen so you can see both at the same time. So that's my long article. Right, really long page. And here's my main page showing no content yet. So for my long article, I'm going to put some content in here that I prepared, like this. And now you can see on the left side that my iPad page, my main page, is being filled with content here. I can also scroll it up and down to have a look how this looks like. And now I could style this, I can put a video in or whatever. So it's really an interactive iPad layout within an iPad page here. And to actually change some content, so maybe the background picture on the outer page, all I need to do is I will make this an interactive element, maybe a slideshow, that has 3, 4, 5 pictures in it. And then I'm going to create invisible elements in my long article here. And I will say these are markers. So as soon as this invisible element will come into the visible area of my iPad layout, that's when I want to do something. So you can see here on the right on the palette, there's actions on activate and actions on deactivate. So when this element comes into view or leaves the visible area again, then I want to change my content index. I want to maybe show the second picture of that background image. So it's that easy to actually create these kinds of iPad. Maybe another example that we have for slideshows. So if I create some iPad elements that have a slideshow, maybe not necessarily I want to have a picture here. I want to actually have some layout content so that I can use my own captions, I can use basic curves, graphical elements. I'm not restricted to pictures when I create a slideshow. I have layout 3 here on the right side, and I actually want to use that as my slideshow members, because what that is, this is a QuarkXPress layout, so with pictures, with video elements. You can see while I change this here on the right, it's automatically changing on the left, both in horizontal and in vertical. So that's going to be my slideshow. And how do I set that up? Same way, I just select my picture box. I'm going to make this a slideshow. So simple slideshow again, and this time it's not going to be a slideshow that consists out of images, but out of QuarkXPress layout. And I will just link my existing layout, layout 3, create my slideshow, and now you can see that the elements of the slideshow are the pages of that layout that I've already created, and I can do all of the attributes and interactivity that we've seen with picture slideshows. And then I'll just go to File, Export, AVG, and then that's done. So that's a brief overview of how you can create your own content for iPad apps. Another application that you need to use called App Studio Factory, something that we deliver with QuarkXPress 9 that you can actually use to create the app that's going to show you the content. And we have different ways of you customizing your own app using just Photoshop pictures or whatever that you drag in there. You can use single apps where the content is in there. You can use kiosk apps, newsstand of the iPad. You can put your magazine or your newspaper into a newsstand, or of course bookshelves. So just to summarize here, what we've shown you the way how to create QuarkXPress, out of QuarkXPress to create iPad content published to the iPad using a desktop tool. You don't need to subscribe to any service or rent anything or pay download fees. So Jared, do you want to continue from here regarding pricing?
Right, sure. So thank you, Matthias, for the presentation and demo. So the part that I want to cover is to give you a good idea of how the pricing model works with QuarkXPress and App Studio, and basically all the elements that you need to be able to take it from a design all the way to be able to publish it on the Apple App Store. Now, of course, if you're going to publish to ebooks, your only investment is really just the QuarkXPress product, because it's all the elements are there, and you can be able to use the software to be able to publish it to the ebook format. However, there are complications when it comes to taking your design and wanting to publish it to the Apple Store, to the iTunes Store, and be able to sell it to your customers. So that's the part that I want to explain now in the pricing. QuarkXPress 9, when you source that through our partner Mac Mall, the upgrade is usually a list price of $299 for the upgrade from any previous version. We really don't have any restrictions on that, and that's a really good deal, especially if you're coming from a very old version. The full version product is $849. This supports both Mac and Windows platforms, so know that it is a license for 2 machines that you can be able to use it on those different platforms. The App Studio elements that Matthias just showed us, all of that is included free in QuarkXPress 9. So there's no additional investment that you need to be able to add that interactive element, which is it's a great feature that has been embedded into this version. One thing you do need to account for is any time you want to sell on the Apple Store, you do have to set up an account with them. Now, what I've listed here is the Apple developer account. That doesn't mean that you have to be a developer. What it does mean is that you have to sign up on their developer site so that you can be able to download all their forms to, they need all your banking information and setup information so that they know how to properly set up your billing requirements and what you're going to be selling on the iTunes Store. So that investment is directly to Apple. It's $99 a year. In terms of creating the actual app, Matthias has shown you some really nice designs of the app itself. QuarkXPress does come with that App Studio factory that you can be able to pick various templates, whether you want a bookstore template or a multi-magazine kiosk template. Those templates, those designs, it's nothing that you have to recreate yourself. It's something that you can just customize in terms of adding your own colors and your own logo. And that's a one-time fee. And depending on which one you want to choose, when you open up the App Studio Factory, the starting price for that is $149. And again, that's a one-time fee only when you're ready to actually publish your your app on the iTunes Store. In order to test it, Matthias has also told you about the Quark Issue Previewer. Basically, that's a free app that you can download from the Apple Store that if you're not ready to publish your design, you could be able to test it for free on this App Store, show various friends to, how your app will look like. And again, that's completely free from Quark. Now, when you're ready to actually start selling your issues, so say, for example, you're planning to have a one magazine, let's just say it's a Smithsonian, and it has various issues. It may have a January through December issue. So you're planning to have a monthly magazine. The way that Quark price model works is any time that you want to have an issue published, that issue has a price to go along with it. So the volume-based pricing is starting at $349. It's a one-time fee per issue, but again, that's the base price on one issue, and then it gets lower as the volume pricing kicks in. So for 12 issues, you might have something of a lower volume discount on that. The nice thing about Quark's solution is there is no monthly fee, absolutely none. If you look at other services that's out there on being able to create your own iPad app and publish it, there usually is a monthly fee that you need to pay to the vendor. And so Quark doesn't have that. We have those one-time app development and app development and the issue fees. And there's also no download fee. So anytime that your customer wants to download your app, and let's just say you're selling it for free, for example, every time they download it, you're also charged a download fee from other services. Quark's solution doesn't have any additional fees on that. So let's just take, for example, your investment. If you want to publish to the iPad, we took two typical investment scenarios. One is, say, for example, you just want to create a single app. Let's say, for example, that's a cookbook. You want to be able to create the app template and then one issue. Basically, you're spending less than $500, not including the price of the software, to be able to do that. It's a really cost-effective way to be able to get your app to the market. Now, another scenario is, for example, you want to create a magazine that has 12 issues, like I showed that example a little bit previously. You've got a fixed cost here, about $4,000+ for the whole year to publish that magazine. Again, no download fees, no monthly subscription fees from the vendor. So you know that once you publish your issues, that lives forever on the iTunes Store as long as you have that contract with Apple. So again, that's the rundown of the pricing. I do want to say that we have a lot of this information on our website at www.quark.com under App Studio. First of all, we have our entire pricing model on there, as well as the fact that we have a step-by-step guide of how to create your design all the way to publishing an app right on the Quark.com website under App Studio. So I do invite you guys to take a look at that. And again, just to reiterate, QuarkXPress 9 is not just about print. You could be able to publish to the web, to e-readers, tablets, and other media devices, all with one tool and no programming or coding needed. Mateus, would you like to add anything else? Okay, let me just finish off with the last page here. So in terms of contacts, Mateus, if you just want to go back one more slide, just so everybody can see our contact information. If you have any questions about today's presentation, we'd be more than happy for you to contact us directly, ask any questions that you have, or contact your MacMall rep if you're ready to take a look at the software product. And again, it's as Mateus has put on the next slide, there is really no risk on your part because we have a 30-day free trial of QuarkXPress. That's a full-blown product that you can try on your own. Download it from our website. Take a look at the product, play around with it. Take a look at some of our video tutorials on the Quark YouTube channel. And again, ask us questions because we're here to help you. Again, thank you.
Maybe the one thing to add, the nice thing about the test drive is that you can actually create apps and fill them with issues for the iPad and test all this even on your own iPad without having any costs except for the cost that you have to pay to Apple to actually develop the app. So, or to create the app, not develop, I shouldn't say develop. So there is the possibility that with a test drive, you can actually try all that I have showed you today without having to buy QuarkXPress yet. And after 30 days, hopefully you like it and you say, okay, that's great. That's how I'm going to publish to the iPad. So I want QuarkXPress.
Okay, great. If there are any questions, please go ahead and send us a chat or put it on the window here so we can be able to answer it directly. And again, you have our contact information, but if you have any other questions, go ahead and contact us directly. Thank you so much for the presentation today.
Thanks. So if anyone has any questions, go ahead and type it into the Q&A panel below. And Matthias, I don't know, do you see any there?
Yeah, I see some questions here. So typical one will be whether the presentation will be archived. Yes, we already said it's going to be archived. Also, if you go to the YouTube/QuarkXPress 9 link that I posted, you will be able to see tutorials and webinars where we showed this more in detail. So if you want to see that again or see different aspects, that's one thing that you can do. Another question was whether there's download fees for the app. Like Jared said, there is no download fee. So once you've published this and did that for the one-time cost, it will reside in the App Store from Apple, and actually you can keep that there forever. There is no download fee, so no 9 cents or 22 cents when you actually when your customers download that. So there's no hidden costs, and you can actually calculate how much iPad publishing will cost you. Next question. Yes, you can. The question is whether you can put any kind of layout or graphical elements into iPad publishing. Yes, everything that you can also do for print, you can do for iPad. So you can put your Photoshop documents in there. You can put TIFF, EPS, typography, and then export that, and it will keep the layout and design the same way as you've seen that for print. We'll also keep that on the iPad. And maybe the last one. Yes, the question is whether there's student discounts. Yes, there is student discounts also if you're a student or a teacher.
Yeah, let me answer that question, Matthias, on the student discount. Actually, we have a very great discount offering for students and just the education community itself. I had showed you the pricing model that you can, for the commercial version, you can publish to the iPad for less than $500. That entire scenario for education comes up to $50. So, I mean, for education, it's really very affordable to publish an app with our education pricing model. Again, if you have any questions on that, you have my email address, and I could be able to help walk you through our program. And there's really no restrictions for education on our product. No download fees, no none of the fees that we talked about on the commercial end.
Yeah, so the next question is, how is this different from the new iBook app from Apple? The iBooks also that Apple provided a few weeks ago basically creates an ebook. So you can only see or sell that through Apple's iBooks app. So it will hide in there. If you look for textbooks, that's probably a great way of using that, and I think it's a great program that Apple is doing there. However, what we showed you here is it's more powerful. You can create native apps that show on your home screen of your iPad that can make use of all of the features that apps allow you to do. So it's, let's say, the EPUB export that QuarkXPress offers. That is something you could compare to the iBooks author program, though we do the EPUB standard, so you can also use that on Amazon, which you can't do with Apple, obviously. So that's how it compares. Next question, can you monetize your apps by receiving a fee or for download? Yes, you can do that. We support all of the business models that Apple has in the App Store. So you can either publish a free app or paid app. You can set up in-app purchase so that somebody gets a free app from you and has to purchase an issue, the February magazine or whatever that you published. And you can even do subscriptions. So if you go to our showcase page, one of the apps that's listed there is the View Photo Magazine. The View Photo Magazine actually uses all three models. So they have a free issue in there for previewing. They have a paid issue that you pay a cover price once and then you can see that. And they also allow you to buy a subscription. So you can combine these things. And that's something you can set up. We don't take any revenue share, only Apple will. So from our side, the flat fee model that Jared just showed you is everything you have to pay to Quark. The last question I see here is the fee paid to Quark, or is it the fee from Apple? Only the $99 per year fee is an Apple fee. The rest are flat fees from our side. And then you publish and you're on the App Store. There's no other cost. And then, of course, if you sell something, Apple requires you to pay a 30% commission to them for anything you do. Of course, if you do a free app or free content, then there's also no commission from Apple's side. So it really works with the Apple model, how they set that up in their platform. And maybe the last one, will there be other platforms supported? Currently, we support the iPad as an export platform. However, on the roadmap will be very soon, there will be other platforms also, like Android and iPhone. Okay, so that seems to be all questions.
Matthias, I think we have a couple more on the chat.
Oh, okay, I didn't look in the chat. Okay, so one question, interesting question is how you can integrate more complex app functionality, let's say GPS or stuff like that. The best way of doing that is to actually create some HTML5 or JavaScript functionality. So I have once done a prototype for a customer. They wanted to use the motion sensor of the iPad for a game to actually move a little pool ball over the screen of the iPad when they tilt the iPad. And it was really easy. There's JavaScript functionality available for accessing the motion sensor. So I just created a small JavaScript. That's probably nothing that you would just do as a designer. However, you can find somebody who codes JavaScript. They just give you the HTML page or HTML folder structure, and then you can actually embed that using an HTML object in QuarkXPress. So it's a bit like getting an illustration from Illustrator if you think print. So you get this advanced functionality through an HTML object. Or the 360 product shot you've seen that I can turn myself, that was done using a program that can export HTML5, and then we just import that into QuarkXPress and then put that in the app. So it's the same answer for any kind of complex functionality that you want to have in there. If you say that's not enough, we actually do have a way of licensing you a framework where you then can add code yourself and program your own app. However, I think that's probably for only the advanced users. Typically, designers don't want to code, and QuarkXPress doesn't require you to code here. Can you show the YouTube URL again? Yes, I can. So there's the YouTube URL. And now my chat window went there. Can you use this with iPhone apps? Like I said, this is on our roadmap. This is going to come. Currently, it's iPad only. Okay, so that seems to be the ones. Am I missing one?
No, I think we're good. Does anyone, if anyone has any other questions, go ahead and type them in now. Otherwise, you can contact Matthias and Jaredis after the webinar. So I'm not seeing anything else come in right now. So I think we're good. But, you know, a big thanks to both Matthias and Jaredis.